On today's show, we're taking out a list from Fox Sports of predictions for the Arizona Cardinals in NFL free agency. Who are they bringing back? Who are they bringing in? I got you covered here on today's show. We are going to take a look and predict them ourselves as well. But before we dive into that, if you guys could do me a favor, so I could do you a favor, hit that subscribe button. We are so close to hitting 1.5K. We just need 28 new subscribers. You guys are the best for this. Help me help you to get free Cardinals content out there more often. The more subscribers we gain, the more videos I'm able to make. So if you could please hit that subscribe button, totally free. It helps me out a lot, and I would love to get you guys the best Cardinals content on YouTube as often as we can, maybe every single day at some point down the road. Appreciate you guys. And let's talk about the first player on Fox Sports list, and that is Jonah Williams, the Cardinals offensive tackle from last season. Bit of a controversial player for some, I think, but we're going to dive into Jonah Williams here first. And Fox Sports predicts that Jonah Williams is going to re-sign with the Cardinals. They think Arizona is bringing Williams back, and he'll be on this offensive line again next year. We'll take a look at what Fox Sports had to say about it. Specifically, we do know Arizona has offensive line struggles. A lot of people predict they will draft an offensive lineman in the top 3 of this NFL draft. But here, as for Jonah Williams, is what Fox Sports has to say. The 28 has been limited by knee and shoulder injuries to 15 games over the last 2 seasons, so his durability is a question mark. But he's coming off a 2-year, $30 million contract, is now probably in the $8 to $10 million range. He missed only 2 games in his final 3 years with the Bengals, so he's had consistent runs of good health before. A new coach in Arizona means he could be on the move, though. And the Cardinals have about $40 million in available cap space. So Jonah Williams, to me, and you could see the PFF grades here on your screen. He's not a standout tackle. I'm honestly fine if they didn't bring back Jonah Williams, to be quite frank with you guys. He had about 55 overall PFF grade. I don't know. Is he the right guy to pair with Paris Johnson? That's something that Arizona and the new regime is going to have to figure out. But Fox Sports thinks he is coming back. I'll keep you posted on if that is the case. Next one for Arizona. And this one is a big one. Jaylen Thompson, the safety. Can Arizona afford to re-sign Jaylen Thompson this offseason? I think he's a guy that a lot of teams are going to be looking at. Well, here's what Fox Sports had to say about Jaylen Thompson. 27 years old, he's a 5-year starter who's consistently good but rarely great. He's got 9 interceptions in his career, none in the last 2 years, 2 career sacks, averages 100 tackles a year over those last 5 seasons. Pretty good. Pro Football Focus has him graded as the number 35 safety, but that's enough to get him $8 to $10 million a year. If he isn't back with Arizona, he could reunite with former Cardinals defensive coordinator Vance Joseph in Denver. Funny enough, a lot of people thought Vance Joseph would be the Cardinals' next head coach, but I'm glad we went young offensive. The prediction from Fox Sports is that the Cardinals re-sign Jaylen Thompson. I think that's a good idea. Like I said, they're going to have a decent amount of cap space this year, and they can clear up a lot more with some moves that I'll tell you guys about in future videos. But Thompson, as it goes, he's a solid player. I think he's going to be sought after by teams looking for a safety, but he's also not going to be crazy expensive. You saw $8 to $10 million a year for a good, consistent starter. I almost think they're even undervaluing him a little bit. I think he's a very solid safety to have out there on the field. So, unless the Cardinals draft Caleb Downs, right, and they shock everybody and take Downs at 3, which, by the way, I'm not necessarily opposed to. Downs might be the best pure football player in this class. He's a guaranteed hit on a draft pick. I'm just going to throw that out there. But if Arizona doesn't do that and take a good tackling physical safety like Downs, well, then you are going to bring back Jaylen Thompson. I think that's a fine move for Arizona. But you tell me in the comment section what you think about it. Should the Cardinals re-sign Thompson? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get a letter going down below so I know where your heads are at here. Like I said, I want to make this an interactive show so all Cardinals fans can come together and give their opinions, and I'll go through and reply to the comments down there. So you tell me, should they re-sign Jaylen Thompson by giving me a letter? Let's talk about Calais Campbell here, another interesting one. You want to talk about veteran? He's a very veteran player, okay? But he's not regressing just yet, I would say, or at least it's not like a drop-off that you might see of a different player that's pushing 40. He's still giving you quality stats out there, good minutes, as they would say in basketball. And the prediction from Fox Sports is that Campbell signs with the Green Bay Packers and leaves the Arizona Cardinals. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Here's the direct quote from Fox Sports. He is 39 years old, but he's ageless with 4 straight seasons of at least 5 sacks while playing for 4 different teams. Living legend, 119 career sacks, 6 Pro Bowls. He made it to the Super Bowl as a rookie in 2008 with the Cardinals. You guys remember that 17 years ago. And how cool would it be if he signed on with a top contender and found his way back, turning 40 before the season starts in September? Signed for $5.5 million last year, and if a 40-year-old defensive lineman can make a case for a raise, Campbell can. I got to be honest. I like Calais Campbell a lot. He still gave you, like I said, quality stats last year, but it makes sense. The Cardinals are trying to get younger. That's the direction this team is headed. That's what they're picking top 3. I mean, some of your best players are going to be rookies perhaps next year. And Calais Campbell, from his perspective, from his side of things, the guy that'll be 40 by the time September rolls around, well, he probably wants to contend. This could be it for him. He could be hanging it up after this year. And Green Bay, especially when they get Micah Parsons back, that's a Super Bowl defense again. So I could understand from Campbell's perspective that he would leave Arizona in free agency, a team that just had 3 wins. As much as I would hate to see him go, it makes perfect sense, and the Cardinals would be able to use their cap space elsewhere here in free agency. The last one, perhaps, we're going to talk about on today's show is Fox Sports had predicted that Javonte Williams would sign with the Cardinals. So that's obviously not going to be the case. I'll give you an alternative option instead at the end of the show. But Javonte Williams was predicted to sign with Arizona, which I thought would have been a great boost, to be honest with you guys. I've always liked his game a lot. Before the ACL injury, I was really high on him, and he came back as if it didn't affect him. But this update came out from Ian Rappaport just yesterday, and that is that the Cowboys and Javonte Williams agreed to a 3-year deal worth $24 million. Dallas keeps a big-time player, $8 million per year after a breakout season. This is also a good judge of, what running backs are getting in free agency here, okay? So Williams gets about $8 million a year. It makes you think about some of the other top options that I'm about to dive into for Arizona, because the fact that Fox Sports was predicting Williams to go to Arizona, and the fact that I think the Cardinals are going to likely cut James Conner now because of his age, because of his injuries, because of the cap space you free up by doing it, it's about $8 million. Well, that tells me the Cardinals are going to bring in another running back in some way, shape, or form. Is that through the NFL draft? Is that through free agency? You want to talk about best players in the draft class? Jeremiah Love is another one that's probably just a surefire hit, one of the best football players in the draft. But people want to talk position value. Do you go running back or safety top 3? Typically, you don't. I don't know if that matters when you're a team that needs help on a bunch of different positions. So, one of the top free agent running backs is Breece Hall. Could that be who Arizona looks to bring in? I mean, Hall kind of balled last year. People were low on him going into the year, thought maybe Jets running back Braylon Allen would take over his role. Well, Breece Hall had a 1,000-yard season, one of the only good offensive players on the Jets, and you got to remember, they had Justin Fields starting games over there, and he got 4 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards, averaged over 4 yards per carry. Spotrac market value for Breece Hall, though, says he could cost around $10 million a year. I showed you Williams got 8, so it probably is, again, that 8 to 10 range, which Arizona does have cap space for a few of those type of guys. So you could re-sign Jaylen Thompson, and you could get Breece Hall. But for Arizona, Breece Hall's pretty vocal about being upset in New York. He actually just reposted a tweet that said free 20 in the hashtag, meaning his number's 20, free him from the New York Jets. I don't know that he'd be happy in Arizona, and I don't know that that's a game changer for Arizona. There's a reason there's the positional value thing with running backs. It's not going to turn your team around. When the Giants drafted Saquon Barkley, he was an absolute dog in his rookie year. They were a losing team. And so I think Arizona might have to focus on some of the other pieces. And yes, you need to go get a running back, but maybe that money needs to be spent on more offensive linemen and players that can make an immediate impact. But I like Breece Hall's game, so I do want you to give your opinion on this matter. Should the Cardinals go out and sign Breece Hall? Type S for sign, type D for don't, and feel free to elaborate on why or why not. But all I need is a letter in that comment section. Appreciate you guys weighing in with me and making it to the end of the video. You are a real one and a real diehard Cardinals fan if you're here right now. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'm going to have more videos coming out for you all week long. Gear up for the Combine. It's here. We'll have exclusive content for you, and I really do appreciate you tuning into Cardinals Today. We'll see you next time.